ICF post-game, a look at the Georgia Dome, where next week the SEC Championship will be Auburn versus either Missouri or South Carolina. Auburn punches the ticket to the SEC Championship. And as we come back live outside Jordan-Hare Stadium at one of the biggest parties of all time in Auburn history after one of the biggest Iron Bowls continue. But if you watched Ohio State Michigan today, Michigan had a chance. Ohio State's in trouble against Michigan State in the Big Ten Championship. This Auburn team got a chance to be in Pasadena for the national championship.
Yeah, if Brady Hoke makes the decision to go for two, maybe they have a chance to win the game in regulation. Alabama had a chance to win the game in regulation tonight. Cade Foster with several opportunities to make kicks. We saw them deep inside the Auburn 20-yard line. A holding call backs them up, so Cade Foster forced to try from longer. After he makes one, there's an offsides call, so Foster misses. Then he has the kick blocked, Lauren. All that plays into a tremendous atmosphere, tremendous plays from the Auburn defense late.
And you got to give those guys credit. The Auburn defense really stepped up tonight. D Ford, a guy that was offsides earlier in the game, driving that fourth down and giving Alabama another chance. But for D Ford, a senior, he's been through it all. He's seen what it's like last year. We talked to D Ford on the field after the game, and here was his reaction. D, just the excitement, just how do you explain this feeling right now?
When you believe in God, man, anything can happen, man. Everything we worked for finally came to us, man. It's a great feeling.
And just to end the regular season the way you guys did with a big win, being part of the biggest turnaround in college football history, for you as a senior, what does this mean?
This means everything, man. People want to say that we got lucky, but I call it playing to the whistle. You know what I mean? And that's what we talked about all year, and that's we're going to finish this thing out, man. It feels great.
And what were the biggest keys to victory tonight for you guys?
Playing to the whistle. Doing what we do. Doing what we love to do.
And when you look at a guy like D Ford, he was there in 2010 for the national championship, there last season, and you got to know a guy that had to go through that sort of bittersweet, because it's almost like it makes you appreciate this game that much more going through a 3-9 season.
I thought one of the big storylines in the game, though, was Auburn's run game beat Alabama to the edges all night long. I was trying to think during Saban's time in Tuscaloosa, last 5 years, I don't remember any team that beat Alabama to the edges consistently like Auburn did tonight.
And there was, even when Cam Newton and Ontario McCaleb had their run game going, Ontario couldn't quite get to the sidelines against Alabama. We saw Johnny Football do it from the quarterback position, but this performance for running the ball against Alabama, we hadn't seen it in the past 8 years.
Just wasn't one person. There's not just one person at Toomer's corner either. You can see the party rolling there. More post-game reaction still to come. Avery Young, Anthony Swain, Nosa Igwe, who was a big part of the 2010 championship. All that, and you've already heard from Gus and Nick. It's a good night in Auburn, Alabama for the people in the orange and blue. Back in a second on Inside College Football.
We're back on Inside College Football postgame. This is a rivalry game people enjoy. Ohio State and Michigan. Carlos Hyde gets things going. 1-yard touchdown run, 42-35 OSU. But here's Devin Gardner to Devin Funches. That's a 2-yard touchdown. So Michigan can win the game by going for two. Brady Hoke decides to throw, and it's intercepted. Travis Powell gets the seal of the win for Ohio State. They're still alive in the national title hunt, 42-41. We'll be talking about that one for a while. Welcome back, Patrick Claybon, Lauren Sisler, Jim Dunaway. Voters.
That close, though, by the way, for Auburn to be in control of their own destiny right now. Here's the BCS standings when the day started. Alabama used to be #1. They'll be dropping. Florida State will play Duke in the ACC championship game next week. Ohio State plays Michigan State, and I'm not sure Ohio State will be favorite. Auburn will be 3rd in the BCS rankings when they come out, and there'll be a debate to go on whether or not they should be #2 ahead of Ohio State. So we'll see about Auburn and their future, but tonight the president has been Trey Mason.
Trey Mason, a guy that has been there for Auburn all season long. 29 carries, 164 yards tonight, 1 touchdown. But Trey Mason, a guy that's all about his team. But you got to look at the Auburn's offensive line. It all starts in the trenches, and we talked to Avery Young after the game, talking about how they got the job done, especially in that final drive. Avery Young, just talk about the excitement of this win tonight.
I have no words for it. It's unbelievable. All I can say, my team came through, and we knew we can do it, and we finished the game. That's all it is to say.
And that final drive, just take us through that final drive where you got the touchdown to tie it up with Alabama.
It's just what we do. We've been doing it all year, and we knew we can do it. long as we had a chance, so we did it.
Hey. And what does this mean for you to be part of the biggest turnaround in college football
history? It means a lot. I love my team. It means a lot. I'm glad to be an Auburn Eagle. Yes,
what does this mean moving forward? You guys are headed to Atlanta now. How does this play into that?
We just go practice and just get better and show up.
And the Auburn Nation is cheering for you. What does this mean right here?
Hey, it means everything. It shows we got fans out here. What is what we doing? Just like a big brother right here. Best thing that ever happened right here. Best thing that ever happened.
How do you feel about seeing your big brother do this?
Oh, man, I tell you what. I can't explain it. I can't find the words to explain it. I'm so proud of him. He's been through a lot. He started from the bottom, now he's here.
Yeah, I had to jump in there. They were taking pictures together, and I was like, sorry, I got to get this interview. But certainly very exciting times. And I got to tell you, the atmosphere, the crowd out there, I couldn't get out of that sea of people. I mean, I was getting stomped on. It was incredible.
I will tell you this, Avery Young's not the only one lost for words on how to describe what has happened here tonight in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Look down, South Donahue outside of Jordan-Hare as we head to break here. This isn't Tumors, folks. This is South Donahue with smoke and a lot of paper rolling and just a sea of orange and blue as fans make their way back to their campers and to their tailgate and to their car. Listen, I don't want to go home. I'm sure they don't want to go home. This party could go all night. You're watching CBS 42. It was a night when Janice Brown's son, better known as Chris Davis, the guy who took it 109 yards from Woodlawn, Alabama, became a chapter of his own in the Iron Bowl history books. 109 yards. It was the day the Iron Bowl turned into the Canadian Football League and ended with one for the ages. Everyone keeps saying, I've never seen a game end like that.
Never. In any situation we've seen plays in the NFL, individual plays, field goals, return for a touchdown.
Devin Hester, this was a Devin Hester play.
It was a Devin Hester play, except it was to win the Iron Bowl in a de facto semifinal game for the national championship, perhaps, if Auburn goes on and wins the SEC championship. It's wild, and people are going to remember Chris Davis, but you have to remember the plays that the Auburn offense made to put them in that position to win the game. And we saw a lot of it from Nick Marshall. Doing what he did, the creativity with the football is something that we saw, and his offensive line gave him time. His receivers blocked downfield for Trey Mason and Corey Grant, and Lauren had them in position to win the game at the end, and that's what they did.
Yeah, Nick Marshall always doing a good job of concealing that football. We talked about it all season. He's great at the fake, and Cyrus Jones there bit there on the last play for them to tie it up with Alabama. And linebacker Anthony Swain talked to us after the game, talking about his quarterback and the confidence he had in his offense to get that final drive and to get the win for Auburn. Describe the emotions that you're feeling right now.
Right now, it's amazing. Words can't even explain this feeling. Man, we've been working so hard. We knew we were gonna have this opportunity, and we just took advantage of it, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
How big was it for your defense? You guys played toe-to-toe tonight with Alabama. How big was it for you guys to come out and get those stops so you could find that final drive to tie it up and then win the game?
I mean, coming into the game, we knew we were gonna make crucial plays. We knew we had to play big, and we just said we were gonna come out here and step up and make big plays tonight.
And when you were on the sideline watching that final drive and that final play of the game, what was going through your mind when your offense was out there trying to put it together?
Well, I knew the offense had it. We've been here before. I mean, like y'all seen last week, we always pull it out. Coach Malzahn always tells us at the end of the game we'll find a way to win.
And does it give you a better sense of appreciation coming off a season like last year and coming in here and doing this year?
Oh yeah, I mean, last year, we leaving last year with last year. This year, we're going all the way to the top, baby.
And I think for this team, the biggest thing has been they bought into Gus Malzahn's philosophy all season long. And Gus Malzahn said at the beginning of the season, we're going to turn this program around, and that's exactly what they've done.
The it factor. They said it last after the Georgia game. They've got the it factor. That was the it factor.
Yeah, after the Georgia game and this, who's going to bet against the Auburn Tigers? Folks, more reaction from Alabama and Auburn when we come back as Inside College Football continues. Live, you're looking down South Donahue as the party continues right here on CBS 42.
Back with you on Inside College Football Live. The Alabama buses leaving down South Donahue on a night that's hard to put into words. But we'll try to do it again for you tonight at 10:15 as we go 20 minutes Inside College Football tonight in our post-game report. But some final thoughts here, Lauren? You're on the social media over there on Twitter. What are they saying?
Tweet machine here. Joel Erickson, Auburn beat writer, said Auburn's 296 rushing yards are the third most against Alabama all time and the most for any Auburn team since 1983. Pretty impressive.
And when you look at what Auburn was able to accomplish on offense, it starts with Nick Marshall, but as Nick Saban said, the big plays. How many did Alabama make? You saw the touchdown pass from A.J. McCarron to Amari Cooper. After that, Auburn gets fourth down stop. They block field goal, and then, of course, Chris Davis takes over the entire planet.
So number 1 Alabama goes down. Auburn will move up to at least number 3 in the BCS standings. They have a ticket in the SEC championship game against either Missouri or South Carolina next week here on CBS 42. And still a hope for a ticket to Pasadena and the national championship game. We're back with you at 10:15. Everybody take a breath after a miracle at Jordan-Hare and whatever we're going to call this one tonight. The season rolls on for the team Gus Malzahn says has the it factory, the it factor. 34-28, Auburn over Alabama. Until next time, God bless you, God bless America.
CBS 42's Inside College Football, sponsored by Pepsi.